What is up, reselling world? Hope everyone is having a wonderful day and or evening. My name is John, and this is the Reseller Life channel. I'm a full-time reseller, and I've been reselling online strictly for about 2 years now. I previously owned a brick and mortar thrift store for a few years. That is no longer. Now we strictly focus on our online sales. So, what I have for you today is a sold video. I have a little randomly selected, probably not little, it's probably going to be close to about 45 minutes to an hour, possibly by the time I get done with this. But I've randomly selected 72 items that we've sold within the last, I would say, 4 to 5 days. So we'll jump right into it, and we'll start out with kind of a bigger one. These are Chelsea barometers, clock type things. I'm not an expert on these, but they did have a brand and a model number, and we were able to roughly estimate the date of them. So yeah, these come off of boats and ships, sailboats, and we found these in a storage locker a couple years ago. They weren't listed right away. These ones themselves have probably been listed for about 8 months. We don't pay much for the items we get out of storage lockers because we get so much of it. So we just kind of average out everything and put a price on it. So I probably have about a dollar into each one of these, or less. Honestly, it's probably less. It's probably closer to like a quarter or 50 cents overall with everything we get out of the storage lockers. And this one itself was a very, very large storage locker. Yeah, so these took about 8 months to sell. I have about 50 cents into each one, and yes, they did sell for $192.07. Next up. And that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to go over everything. I'm going to let you know where I sourced it, what we paid for it, and roughly how long it took to sell. So this is a HP laptop charger. It's like a power supply or an AC adapter. You will see a lot of these in this video. Well, maybe not a ton, but a handful of them. I sell a lot of these though, so I can't really date them to tell you how long I've had them and how long it's taken to sell them, because I have so many of them. They're so similar. But I typically don't have any more than 50 cents into each one of these. And this one I either sourced at a surplus auction and got it in bulk, or I got it at the Goodwill bins and I paid probably about 50 cents for it by weight, or I got it from a yard sale, and typically I won't pay more than 50 cents to maybe a dollar. If it was one like this, is a laptop charger, which I prefer the laptop chargers. This one's probably a dated one because it didn't sell for very high. I won't pay more than a dollar for them. So not real sure which of those I sourced this one from, but it's one of the three. I did not pay more than a dollar for it. I would say more so closer to 50 cents. And it sold for $4.58. I like AC adapters because they're really easy to ship, and they're super, super easy to list. I can literally list one in less than 3 minutes. And I ship them in padded flats, or not padded flats, but padded mailers, and you just drop them right in, seal them, and put your label on it. Super easy, super quick. Alright, this one came out of a storage locker, so I have about 50 cents into it. This is kind of an brand meter. This is something I give to my listers, just to keep them busy, and it's one of those things where it's harder to sell at like a yard sale or a flea market, and I don't want to throw it away. So this is kind of like a filler item just to keep our listers busy. And yeah, this came out of a storage locker. This one's been listed for about 8 months. Um, yeah, it wasn't anything great, but we did make a little bit of money off of it, and it's much better than just throwing it away. I'm sure we made a little bit on shipping too, maybe $1 or so. But sold for $4 flat, and it took about 8 months to sell. Got it from a storage locker. Next up, all right, this is HP 21 black ink. It is expired. We sell a lot of expired ink. I rarely have any issue with selling expired ink. Um, Probably about, I would say, less than 5%, closer to maybe like 2 or 3%. We have any issues with expired ink, and I would say that a good portion of that percentage is just people fishing for refunds, and there's probably nothing wrong with the ink. But that comes with the business. You try not to let it get you down. It's a very small percentage of your customers that will actually do that. So I would try not to sweat it too much. But this came from a surplus auction, and I bought a whole pallet full of ink and toners. So I have about $1 into this one, and it sold for $11.30, and it took about 3 months to sell. All right, so this is a Panasonic VHS player, and no remote, no manual, no AV cables either. This is tested. I probably have about $5 into this or less, and I either sourced this at a thrift store or a yard sale. It took, I would say, 9 months to sell. I would have thought this would have sold faster. This is definitely the lower end of what these sell for. This model itself typically sells for, without the remote or any accessories, about $25 to $45. So this is definitely on the lower end of it. Yeah, it happens. That's all right though. There was some profit to be made on it, and I actually buy boxes for VCRs and DVD players and receivers, and so this type of shaped electronic, because shipping these can be kind of a pain, these larger items. So I will go ahead and I pay $1.25 per box just to make my life easier, and it makes it so I don't stress so much about shipping these things out. Yes, you can Frankenbox it, you can try to find boxes, but to make life easier, I would just buy the boxes. I buy them in bulk off of eBay. I get 25 at a time. Next up. Alright, so this is for Respironics oxygen condenser carrying bag. So these oxygen condensers, these portable ones, they range from like $500 to $5,000 used, and yeah, I've never found one of the portable ones, but I figured there might be some value in the bag itself. Turned out not so much. This has been listed for, I would say, about a year, and I believe I got it from the Goodwill bin, so I probably paid about $1 for it. Sold for $5.82. Alright, this is a Crown Royal hat. I do like the alcohol and beer type hats. They seem to sell fairly well. This one wasn't great, so I don't know if I would pick this one up again. It's been listed for at least a year. This came out of a storage locker, so I probably have less, maybe 50 cents to a quarter into it, and it sold for $4.66. Next up, okay, so this is RAM memory. I've sold a lot of this RAM memory lately because I picked up about 500 of these memory chips in a surplus auction recently, and I paid about $1 a piece for them. I got about 500 of them. So this one is a 2 GB, and I would recommend if you're gonna sell these to basically focus on anything 2 GB or higher. Um, it's all listed on the chip itself. Right here, you got your brand in red, and then right next to it, the 2 GB is the gigabytes, and then the numbers underneath the 2 GB, the HMT, and then after that is basically your model number. So to save you some time, if you come across this kind of stuff, that's how you look them up. And that's how you find your comps. This took about a month to sell. I have $1 into it, and it sold for $7.90. All right, so this is kind of an experiment I'm doing. I got these at a either 99-cent store or a Family Dollar or Dollar Tree or something like that. I paid $1 a piece for them, and I'm trying to find stuff like this to make it like easy to like locally wholesale basically. This one is, yeah, it's probably going to be a win for me. It didn't sell as fast as I would like. It did sell within the first 30 days. It took less than a month to sell these. But I have $2 into this. I am doing free shipping, so that's another $2.60 or 66 cents. So that puts me roughly at the $5 mark, and they sold for $7.74. So you're gonna take your eBay fees out and your PayPal fees, which should leave me with roughly about $2. So it's kind of a double your money type of thing. And the reason why I'm doing this is so maybe I don't have to buy like a really, really big wholesale lot of these because I know exactly where to find them. I will keep the listing and I'll keep purchasing like maybe 10 at a time so I can always have about 5 orders on stock, and as they sell I'll just keep reordering them, or I mean not ordering but repurchasing them from these 99-cent stores or Dollar Trees or Family Dollars. And that way I don't have to have too much capital invested into it, and I can have like a wholesale source where I can just keep on buying and buying and buying and keep refilling. So $2 is not a lot, but I do like the consistent sale, um, even if it's something small like this. And if I can find some really great stuff that I can keep refilling like this, and I know exactly where to source it, um, yeah, I'll keep doing it. This is just a tester thing. I don't know if I'll keep doing these things exactly because $2 is kind of a low margin for me, and I would want them to sell more than just once in 30 days. I would like them to sell, every day or every other day or at least a couple times a week. So there's my story on those, and I have a handful of other things that I've been doing this experiment on, and I think some of them are in this video or will be in this video. Next up, alright, so this is a cordless phone, home phone, business phone, office phone type deal. I get these at the Goodwill bins or thrift stores or yard sales. I don't find them in storage lockers very often. Most of the time, I'll get these at the Goodwill bins, and they're very light. They're probably only about maybe 4 or 5 ounces. The hard goods at our Goodwill bins are 89 cents a pound, so I probably pay about 25 cents a piece for these. A lot of times when I find them too, I'll find 3, 4, or 5 of them at a time, so I'll do a quantity listing, and they're very easy to list. They're easy to test too. You'll always find a couple of the bases to charge them with too to check them out. This one has been listed for about 6 months. I have about a quarter into it and sold for $12.44. All right, so Diesel is a good brand in clothing. Um, these have been listed since the summertime. I thought they would do a little bit better. I thought they would sell over the summertime, but surprisingly, they're selling in January. So Diesel is a good brand. Definitely recommend their jeans. I think their jeans still sell in the $20 to $30 range. These are swim trunks. They've been listed since the summertime, so about 5 months or so. And I would say about 50 cents into them. They sold for $6.74. All right, so I've had quite a few of these. I had a few cases of these. I probably had maybe like 40 of them altogether, and there's one left. They've been kind of slow movers. I got this. I actually got these for free. Was a clean out deal. Somebody had was moving, and when we had our thrift store, we would go and we would tell people if there was leftover furniture or stuff or anything like that, and they had to get out in a hurry, moving, selling a house, or closing on a house. We would come in and we would take everything out. If it was just hoarder style or a mess or something like that, we would actually charge them, and then you make them sign an agreement saying that if you see any of your stuff in our store or being sold online, you can't claim that it's yours because you are forfeiting all of the items that we are cleaning out of the resident's home or business, and disposing of them as we please. So, the majority of those kind of the hoarder houses or anything like that, a lot of that stuff did go in the trash, but you find your nuggets in there, and this was one of them. This actually wasn't a bad house, just stuff left over, and it wasn't dirty or anything like that. So we had a couple cases of these, and I think we got as high as $8 a bulb, and this is the lowest that they've gone. We've had them for about a year, and the last one should be, hopefully will sell by the end of the month. All right, so this is a tactical 511 polo. I do recommend TAC 511. The polo here didn't do as well as I thought it would, even though it's a larger size. It's extra large, tall. I believe I got this at a Goodwill, so I probably paid about $2.50 for it because I don't think I would pay the full $5 that most of our Goodwills charge for polos. And this one took about 5 months to sell. Not a lot of profit on it, but not too bad. I would look more for like the PFGs, which are like the vented button down, um, vented like fishing type shirts, more tactical looking. Those ones do a little bit better for us. Here's some more memory. I don't recommend. These are definitely some smaller memory. As you can see here, they're 128 megabytes, which is a lot smaller than 1 gigabyte. There was a lot of three of them. These for this cell. When I get these lots of memory, I've gotten to the point to where I won't even consider looking up anything that's less than 1 gigabyte. So this cell right here was just one of the random ones that I probably was processing through the case early and saw maybe a little bit of value in it, but unless you got a lot of time on your hands and you're really pinching every penny out of your investment, I would not recommend even looking them up. This was honestly a fluke. So I mean, I'm sure they're out there, but the time that you will invest looking all of them up, I don't believe would be worth it. But yeah, this did sell within a month, so fairly quickly. I have $1 into each one of these, so $3 total, and they sold for $12.55. This actually has sold twice. It was returned once. I used to sell a lot of tollbutts or tollborts. I'm not really sure exactly how to pronounce it, um, but I don't pick it up anymore. I picked this one up, I think, at the Goodwill bins or out of a storage locker, and we listed this one because it was corduroy and it was a little bit more unique, I thought. And the first time it sold, we sold it for about $10, and then it sat around for a while, and we bumped the price down a few times. So this time it sold for $6.75. Tollbox is not a bad brand. It is a good mall brand, and you can definitely get this price range for it. You know, 7 to, I would say, 12 to maybe $15. But me personally, for clothing, I try to aim a little bit higher because it does take time to list clothing with measurements and, you know, the the other, you know, putting it on a mannequin and buttoning it and unbuttoning it. You know, it's not horrible, but just for me personally, I don't like to spend a lot of time in clothing unless I'm making at least, I would say, $20 to $25 and up. So if you're okay with the bread and butter um, area of profit, then this is definitely a consistent brand, and there's a lot of it out there to find. That probably took about 6 months to sell, but it has sold twice in the last 6 months. So this is a off-brand digital caliper measurer, micrometer type tool, and machinists use these type of things a lot. This came out of a storage locker, and it was another one of those things that I didn't want to throw away, and our brick and mortar thrift store was closed at that point, so it wasn't like, you know, it wasn't me listing it, it was our listers listing it. So it was another filler item, keep them busy. It wasn't going to sell fast, and it wasn't going to sell super high, but there was going to be a little bit of margin there. So I don't really recommend picking these up. It came out of a storage locker, and you try to make as much as you can out of storage lockers without having to throw everything away. So this took about 8 to 9 months to sell. We have about 50 cents into it, and it sold for $5.80. This is another power adapter. I actually remember this one. I did get this one at the surplus auction because I can see here that I have 26 of these. So yeah, not a very great sell at $3.20, but it was one listing, and I do have 26 of them left. So yeah, I'll take it. Kind of a slow mover. It's an older cell phone charger, but hmm, I mean, if I can sell them all at this price, you know, that's over 75 bucks. So not bad. I have, I would probably say I have about 15 cents into each one of these. I bought the pallet at the auction because there was actually the phones were with them, and I sold the phones. They weren't in great condition. They were all used. A lot of them were missing backs and batteries, and some of the screens were cracked. So I sold all the phones in a lot for parts and repair, and that's why I didn't add the chargers with it. I thought I could do well selling the chargers separately as a quantity listing. All right, so this is memory. This is a Samsung 4 gigabyte. 4 gigabytes do a little bit better. You see here, this one sold for $16.24 and sold within a month. Have $1 into it. All right, this is a retail arbitrage. Retail arbitrage being something you buy from a grocery store or a Walmart or big box store that they have clearanced, and you go in and you pick it up and see what they sell for online. Just because they're clearancing them at stores does not mean that people aren't buying them. It just means that people aren't buying them in that area, or it's just not doing well for that store. These actually, I found 4 of these, and I paid, I think, $4.29 each for them, and they sold extremely fast. I sold all of them within a week, and we sold them for $17.17. Derm Foot Rejuvenating Cream. And I actually got these pretty recently within the month, and I got them from Fry's grocery store, or in some areas Kroger's. So check your clearances, you might have some. Great brand. I haven't been able to find any more in my area. I've hit up a lot of Fry's grocery stores, and they seem to be out, or they don't have them anymore in my area. It's a real bummer. It was a great one. Good find. All right, so this is an original um, Harry Potter 2000 Hallmark Dumbledore ornament. I found a 3 or 4 totes full of this Harry Potter memorabilia in a storage locker, so I have about 50 cents into this itself. Took about 3 months to sell. We got $12.25 for it. All right, so I got these at a Goodwill on a half price sale, and this is actually a really good random boot. And I picked them up because I had gotten them for, I think I paid $5 for them at half price. And it says here to see description, and if you can see here, the bottom of the boot was kind of melted, so they might have been using them for firefighter boots or something like that, like wildland fire, because these are pretty melted. But despite the damage, it was still all intact. You know, a little cracking a little bit, but it was still together. I didn't notice this until afterwards. It was a rookie mistake. I should have noticed it right out the gate. But I think I was just a little excited that day. I was finding a lot of stuff in that Goodwill and a lot of great brands. So I think I just threw them in my cart and was just complacent. So I put them up there. Um, I figure, what the hey, I'll give it a try. I'll make sure that it's in the description, and put in the title to see description. And I even contacted the buyer after they bought it to make sure that they saw that the sole had some wear and some damage to it, and they were aware of it. They were fine with it. I guess these boots are very expensive, new. So yeah, they were listed for about 2 months. I have $5 into them, and they sold for $15.35. I typically wouldn't pay $5 for boots that sell for 15, but I actually thought they were going to sell for closer to 50. Definitely look out for the brand though. All right, so this is CoverGirl Outlast Lumina makeup lipstick. We had a video that we released recently. Jessica, my wife, and I. She had found a hack at Walgreens where there was coupons on the front of these makeups, and they were also clearanced. And then if you bought two, Walgreens would give you a $5 Walgreens cash coupon. So after the manufacturer coupon, the clearance price, she was getting these for about 19 cents a piece. And then Walgreens was giving her a $5 cash coupon afterwards. So technically, they were actually paying her. I think it was actually no, she was paying 11 cents a piece. I'm sorry. They were paying her $4 and change afterwards, which we were using those cash coupons to buy Funko Pops, the Walgreens specialty Funko Pops, and the Guardians of the Galaxy Groot Chia Pets that were also selling well. So they were paying us to buy these makeups up off of them, and we were going and buying other stuff with the cashback rewards, basically. So great hack. You actually we're still finding these at Walgreens locally, um, and she's still getting them really cheap. They're not doing the $5 back coupon, but they are still clearanced, and there's still the manufacturer coupons on the front of these things. So she's still getting them for like 11 cents a piece, and they're selling for us. We are doing free shipping on them, but a lot of them are quantity listings, and it was a real easy listing to do. They sold within, I would say, about a week. All right, another retail arbitrage. This one's also from, no, this one actually, yeah, no, this one's from Fry's grocery store, and we paid, I believe, about $3 into this one, and it sold for $12.55. Sold within about 2 weeks. All right, these are Express Kingston jeans. Express is a mall brand, And this would be actually like the lower end of Express jeans, $6.93. Express jeans do fairly well. They're pretty consistent around the $15 to $25 range. But this happens. I don't like. I will have long tail items, but I don't like long tail items. When I relist my items, I run 30-day listings, and every time I relist them, I bump my prices by 10%. And these were just around long enough to where it got down to $6.93, which is okay because I don't want to sit on stuff forever. I need to make room for new inventory coming in. So I replenish all of my totes that are full of product, and as they get low, we top them off. That way we can continuously use the space that we have without having to expand. So these took, I would say, about 8 months to sell, and we have probably $2 into them, and we got $6.93 for them. I do recommend Express jeans if you don't mind the bread and butter price range. Here's some more of those CoverGirl makeups. This sold in a lot of 4 for $21.05. Took about a week to sell. These are the North Face pants. These are like kind of all-weather canvas, breathable type material. These are women's. Got these from the Goodwill bins, so we probably paid less than $2 for them. And they were listed for about 5 months. Got $9.10 for them. The North Face is a great brand. They make high quality clothing, but the market is super flooded. So hit and miss. I would say pick it up. Just don't overpay. So be cautious with North Face. Make sure when you're looking it up that you are looking up things that are very comparable in style and color and size, and don't pay too much for it. Even at the $5 range, I would say that might be even too much. Just look up your comps. All right, so this is more memory. This is a smaller chip, which is for a laptop, and I don't think the brand on this one matters too much. It was more the fact that it's a 8 gigabyte, so that's why it sold for a little bit more than the other ones. It sold for $30.60. Have $1 into this one, and it sold within a month. More CoverGirl. This one sold within a week, and we got $7.45 for it. Here is some more of the Harry Potter memorabilia. This is another ornament, a Hallmark ornament, and this one sold for $30. The buyer messaged us, and we made an agreement to do free shipping, but it did ship first class, so it only costed us about $4.20 to ship it, and they paid $30. We have about 50 cents into it, and it took about, I'd say, 2 or 3 months to sell. This is another retail arbitrage. We picked up a lot of cell phone cases. For the most part, we paid $3 a case, but for the OtterBox cases, I believe we paid $5. This took about a month to sell, and we got $14.69 for it. Buyer did pay for shipping on this one. More memory. This is a 4 gigabyte laptop chip, and we got $12.66. Sold within a month. This is another retail arbitrage. I forget where we got this. I believe it was a grocery store. It could have been like an Albertsons or a Fry's or a Safeway, but I got quite a few of these. I believe we probably got about 20 or 30 of them, and they've been selling really well for us. We paid less than $5. I believe we paid $4 and change, and they are selling for $15.10. We are paying the shipping on these ones though, but it's costing us about $2.66 to ship them first class. And that one sold within, I would say, 2 weeks. All right, so this is another item that we got out of a storage locker. I don't like commemorative plates. I don't like anything like this, plates, glasses, or anything like that that breaks at all. I used to sell a lot of this sort of thing, but is definitely lost its popularity. It's just one of those things that we had a lot that we got out of our storage locker. We didn't want to toss them. They didn't have much value in like yard sales or at our thrift stores, so we listed them. This has been listed for about 10 months, and we got $4.65 for it. I believe we made a little bit on shipping on this one though, so not too bad. I think we made like $3 or $4 on shipping. Commemorative plates though, I would not suggest it unless it's definitely something appealing like the Beatles or maybe like Kiss or something like that. Something just that's a little bit more collectible or trendy. That pattern and what it was is just not something that people are looking for. All right, so these are EMS, fire, police uniform pants. I got about, I would say, 200 pairs of these from the Goodwill bins one day. One of our local fire departments donated all their old uniform pants, and I went through and picked out all the ones that I thought were in good enough shape, and we have been selling them for about a year now. They started out when we were initially selling them, we were getting about $17 to $18 a pair, and now they're working their way down from me lowering the price by 10% each month down to about $8 a pair, but we're still making money on them at that price because I paid less than $2 a pair for them all. So um, this isn't like the best brand. Well, I think there was only one pair at this brand, but the majority of them are Flying Cross, and if you do see them out there and they're decent condition, I do recommend picking them up because they are expensive when they buy them new. They're about, I think they're about $50 to $70. There's different styles. Some are just straight legs, some are cargo, some have like zipper pockets. Um, so, but Flying Cross uniform pants, they're very common. You can find them quite a bit. $2 range is what I would recommend paying, no more than that. And yeah, make sure you're checking your conditions. Alright, here's another memory chip. This one is another 4 GB, and we got $12.55. That pair of uniform pants too, that one we've probably had for about 10 months too. Alright, here is another office home phone. This is a Uniden with the home base. There is like the other portable bases that go with these when these things come with like a pack of 4 phones, but this one is like the home base with the answering machine. This has been listed for about 9 months, and I have about maybe $1.50 into it, and we got $8.08. I got this at the Goodwill bins. Next up, all right, we got this here. This is a like an adapter or converter for a older camera. I got these out of a storage locker that was basically an old camera business or repair shop that had closed down, and they put all their back stock or inventory into a storage locker that was there. I believe it was there from since about 2001, and I bought it in 2016. So it was a 15-year-old storage locker, and we got, I would say, at least 1,000 cameras and camera lenses and camera accessories. I've been selling quite a bit of it for the last year, and yeah, this piece here was just another small piece out of the locker, and we got $9.07 for it. I have less than a quarter into it. All right, so this is a lot of DMS 59 video cables, computer cables. Yeah, I don't even know. I just look them up and I find model numbers. I got this from a surplus auction. I get these wires, mixed slots of wires, and I get them by the pallet, by the big bin. These bins that I buy, they're typically, I would say, 400 to 500 pounds. So a lot of people will get them and take them straight to the recycling yard. I like to process through them and match things up and look up model numbers and list them individually. That's how I get a lot of my AC adapters, and this was just a random uh, adapter or part that was in there that there was a large quantity of. So I threw them into a flat rate box and sold them for $15.34. These took about 2 months to sell, and I probably have, I would say by weight, I might have about $2 into that whole box. So, all right, this is a motor for a Magic Bullet. These are pretty popular shake blenders, and yeah, this one I got this at the Goodwill bins. I probably paid $1.50 for it. It took about 6 months to sell, and we got $10.58 for it. I used to get $20 to $25 for these, but they're not as popular as they used to be. I think the NutriBullet has kind of passed them. I used to have a Magic Bullet, and it was great, but now I actually got a NutriBullet, which is a little bit bigger, and it actually blends your shakes a little bit better. So I think when they came out with the NutriBullet, these kind of got a little obsolete. But hey, I'm still making close to $11 for them, so not bad. All right, this was another retail arbitrage deal. I got these from Walmart. I bought about 30 of them, and they're moving a little bit on the slow side. I paid $5 a piece for them, and I am doing free shipping. So at this point, I've had them listed for about a month now. I've only sold 2 or 3 of them. There's not that much margin after the free shipping. I'm only making maybe a couple bucks at this point. If I break even on these, I would be happy. I thought they would be selling better, but they didn't. You know, if I break even on them, we'll call it a win. So yeah, you have your bad buys. This is a lesson learned. So these are probably still at Walmart's, and they're about $5 a piece. I wouldn't recommend buying them unless you're not gated on Amazon. You might have a little bit better luck on Amazon. They might move a little faster. So these are OtterBooks Alpha Glass screen protectors. I paid $5 for them, and they sold for $11.02 with free shipping. Took about a month to sell. All right, so this one I picked up recently at a thrift store. I paid $5 for it. It is a PS2 or PlayStation 2 Guitar Hero guitar, and it sold for $21.05. Took about a week to sell. This is something I like to pick up at the Goodwill bins, and we used to take them off of our George Foreman grills at our thrift store because they would sell so much better. Um, we would normally get a better price for these when we were getting about $12 to $15 for these. The market might be a little bit more flooded at this point. I haven't found one in a while, so I haven't researched them for a little while. But we get them at the bins. They cost us nothing because they're so light. I don't even know if they weigh an ounce. But really easy to list too. Just take a quick measurement, and we sold it for $5.36. I probably paid about a nickel or maybe a dime for it, and this one took about 6 months to sell. Alright, this came out of a storage locker. I found a whole box of this old antique dollhouse miniature furniture. So I have about a 50 cents into this, and we've just been selling it piece by piece. It's all from the 1940s, and it's all Amish made. It was marked on the bottom of these. Really cool find, super cool, and yeah, we got $13.89 for it. So if you're out there sourcing, you find old antique dollhouse furniture, definitely look it up. This is another retail arbitrage. I believe we picked this up for $2 from Albertsons and sold within a month for $10.53. We did not do free shipping on that one. All right, so this is H&M. This is a mall brand. I would not recommend H&M. The only reason why we listed this one is because it says cheetah, but it's actually, I think those are pumas. So it's got like a cool puma pattern on it, and that is why we took the time to list it, because we thought just the style would sell it. And we got $7.22 for it, which, not bad. Not great, but not bad either. We got that out of a storage locker, so we have about 50 cents to a quarter into it. This was on a thrift haul video. This is an Odyssey putter, and I thought we would do a little bit better on this one. I thought we would get closer to like the 20, 25, but this must be like a really older model, or just wasn't a super popular model for Odyssey. I do recommend picking up Odyssey putters. I believe that's all they make in golf clubs is putters. So if you do see them out there, do pick them up. I only paid $2 for this, so we still made money on it. But got it from a Goodwill, $2. This took, I would say, 3 months to sell, and we sold it for $11.01. All right, this came from a Goodwill a couple weeks ago. We paid $3 for it. I like to pick up these big battery chargers in almost any and all brands, old ones, new ones. They just seem to sell really well for us, and they're super easy to list. This one we paid $3 for, got it at a Goodwill, took 2 weeks to sell, and we sold it for $15.10. This is another home cordless phone. We got this at the Goodwill bins. We probably paid about maybe a little less than $2 for this one, and it took, I would say, 8 months to sell, and we got $9.81 for it. This came from a Goodwill. I believe I paid $3 for it. There was some issues with the hat. This is actually a hat, and it's not listed as a hat, though it should have been listed as a hat. 3D mouse snapback hat, yes. I thought it would help it a little better by having the pin. There's a Mickey Mouse, Disneyland, Donald Duck, Minnie Mouse pin that was with it. But nope, it's Disney, it's Mickey, it's got a pin, it's vintage. It had a lot going for it. And nope, still sold for $6.27. So I probably came close to like breaking even on this one. And it did take about 9 months to sell. So you never know. I do recommend picking up Disney, but there's a lot of Disney stuff out there, so just look up your comps. Here's another camera out of that camera storage locker that I got. This one we have about 50 cents into it. Sold for $28.70, and it probably took a year to sell. Alright, this came from the Goodwill bins. This is an old Western Brooks and Dunn shirt. Doesn't have pearl snap buttons, but it did have a really cool pattern. Not a super appealing size, being a medium. You want the larger sizes, but it did still sell. We don't have a whole lot into it. I probably have $1 into it. We got $7.66 for it, and it took about a year to sell. My wife and I got a good laugh about this one, and we noticed a few others that are like this. If you look at the title of this, these are Tommy Hilfiger pin plaid pants. Yeah, this was done by one of our listers about 6 to 8 months ago, and it must have been their spell check or something that was getting them, because Tommy Hilfiger is only one word. But hey, it's all right. It's still sold. I have maybe $1.50 into them, and we still made a little bit of money off of them. Took about 6 to 8 months to sell. We got it at the Goodwill bins, and we got $6.86 for Tommy Hilfiger. Go figure. All right, so I found a lot of AudioVox Sirius XM radio parts all together, and I ended up just listing them all individually. And this is a mounting dock for one of the pieces. I listed this about a month ago, and it sold for $10.86. Sirius XM radio stuff does do fairly well, but look up your model numbers. I probably have about a quarter into that from the bins. I was really disappointed with this. This is an old Radio Shack. I know Radio Shack isn't like super great when it comes to quality electronics and stuff like that, but it was very old. It was unique. There was like no competition for it. This has been listed for well over a year. It came out of a storage locker, and I thought just by the rarity of it, and I thought it was really cool that it would do better. We started this out higher, but just bumped it down over time, and this is what we got for it. We got $11.32. So it's not going to stop me from experimenting with things that I've never seen or don't have any comps or comparables. So next up, we have Perry Ellis. Perry Ellis, this is a filler piece. We got this out of a storage locker. I do not really recommend Perry Ellis. It's very flooded. It's a mall brand. You can also get these at like Ross and Marshalls, which kind of deflates the value as well. So it's something that our lister grabbed, or we gave to them just to keep them busy because we probably didn't have a lot of product at the time for them to list. So yeah, I wouldn't even recommend this brand as a bread and butter brand. It's a little pricier in the malls. You can get it a little cheaper off season at Ross or Marshalls, but the resale value is not great. So that took about a year to sell, and I got it out of a storage locker, so we probably only have about 50 cents into them, but $4, and after paying an employee to list it, is not a great return. Alright, so I find these fairly often. I find them at the Goodwill bins a lot, and that's if it's not at a yard sale or at a Goodwill bins, I typically don't pick them up because that's where I can get them the cheapest. I wouldn't pay more than $2 for these. Some sell a little bit better than others. I've gotten up to $25 for these, and they're these HP Photo Smart inkjet printers. You can make sure they have the AC adapters so you can test them, at least make sure they power on. They're pretty durable. I don't know if I've ever had one yet that hasn't worked. So yeah, and they work pretty easy with digital cameras. Well, that one was listed for about 7 months. We have $2 into it, and it sold for $10.37. We also made a little bit of money on the shipping on that one as well. This is another vintage camera from our camera locker, storage locker. Have maybe 50 cents to a quarter into this. Took about a year to sell, and we got $23.73. Here's another pair of the uniform pants. This one is a pair of Flying Cross. That is the brand that you should maybe be more on the lookout for. They sold for $7.28, but that's probably just because I haven't tinkered with the listings, so it's getting dropped down in the views quite a bit. You can definitely get the $15 price range on these if you sit on them. So I'm just trying to push them at this point. I've made quite a bit of money on all these uniform pants, and yeah, I just want to kind of clear them out at this point. I'm still making money on them at selling them for $7.28. Paid $2 for them or less. Got them at the Goodwill bins, and that took about a year to sell. Alright, this one we actually listed just a couple days ago. This is actually my daughter's listing. This is a retail arbitrage. She got these at the grocery store. They were a clearance for the holiday stuff, and she paid a quarter a piece for them, and they sold within just a couple days. She did do free shipping, and we calculated it all afterwards, and she made just under $4 in profit after all was said and done. So super proud of my daughter. She's only 7 years old, but she's got a little hustler in her. All right, here's another one of my experiments with dollar store products and trying to lot them up and have them, be replenishable. These costed $1 a piece, so $3 total. We did free shipping. It did get a little bit heavier, so it costed us just under $4 to ship these. We did make a couple dollars profit on it. Alright, so here's a remote that I find. I sell a lot of remotes. I typically find them at the bins, a couple of thrift stores that I have locally, and sometimes yard sales, and sometimes storage lockers. I wouldn't recommend ever paying any more than $1 for remotes, and don't ever pick up the basic cable or satellite remotes because those are a dime a dozen. Stick to your receivers, DVD players, VHS players, CD players, and that sort of thing. I thought I would get a little bit more for this. I love these pictures though. This is on my old backyard deck. It was all roached out and dry rotted and everything like that. We actually have removed it at this point, but I used to love the pictures that it would take on the with the backdrop because of the patina of the wood. So this one itself, I probably have about 25 cents into it. Took about 6 months to sell, and we got $3.70 for it. Here is another AC adapter. Couldn't tell you how long we've had it. Probably paid about 50 cents for it, and sold for $4. There is another one. This is a Homematic. Definitely look if you find one with the Homematics. That's almost a guaranteed winner. This one I probably have about, I would say, 50 cents into this one. Sold for $7.43. Alright, here's a 4 GB memory chip. Took less than a month to sell, have $1 into it, and we got $12.85. Alright, so here is a JanSport backpack. I used to pick up a lot of JanSport backpacks. I used to do super well with them. This one, at one point, I probably would have been able to get $20 to $25 for. They're not as popular as they used to be. This was, but yeah, I mean, I haven't found them in a while. The Goodwills that I go to, they typically have them priced at like $10 and $15, so I don't even bother looking them up. I haven't looked one up in a long time, but I don't see them as often as I used to, so I can imagine they're not as popular as they used to be. If you do see them out there, though, I still look them up. I'm surprised that we only got $7.26 for this one because it was definitely a cool pattern. And some people collect these JanSport backpacks. So if you do see them out there, don't pay up too much for them and look up your comps for sure. This one took, I would say, about 8 months to sell. And I believe I got it at the Goodwill bin, so I probably have about less than $1 into it. Alright, this is a recent retail arbitrage, and I paid $4.30 for these. I have 20 of them altogether, I think. This is the first one to sell. We are doing best offer on these because the price range was pretty up and down. So we priced them high. We run a 15% sell. When I mean high, I mean high of the selling prices, not higher than any of them are selling for, just the higher end of what they're selling for. So we priced them up at $19.12, and we are taking offers. Somebody offered us $15 for this one, and we did take it, but that's the bottom of our threshold is $15, and we probably made about $6 after shipping profit. So yeah, it's been listed. Took about 2 days to sell. Here's some more of the CoverGirl that we got for basically for free. I didn't have any matches or quantities on these ones, and I didn't want to list each one individually and sell them for $7 with free shipping. That was just a little too time consuming for me for what I was getting out of them. So I just bundled them all up, just random colors, and sold them as a lot. They sold within a week, and we got $18.50 with free shipping. We paid for the shipping. Next up, here's more memory. This is a 4 gigabyte. Took less than a month to sell, and we got $12.09. Have $1 into it. Alright, so this came out of the camera storage locker as well. So I probably have a quarter or 50 cents into it. It took about a year to sell, and we got $10.15 for it. I probably wouldn't recommend picking any of these up, these little mini tripods, or definitely look at your tripods, but this one, it wasn't really even built that quality. So for the fact that we got $10.15 for it is awesome, because that's definitely the higher end, I believe, of what it should have gone for. Next up is another loose home phone, home cordless phone. I probably paid about a quarter for this at the Goodwill bins. Took about 6 months to sell, and we got $6.48. And this is the last one. Here is another home phone, office phone, cordless phone. Most likely came from the Goodwill bins. We have 25 cents into it, and it sold for $7.28, and also as well probably took about 6 months to sell. So thank you so much if you made it all the way to the end of this video. I appreciate you tuning into the channel and seeing all the things that we were able to sell this week, and I hope you were able to learn something from it. Hope you were able to pick up some tips or anything like that. If there was anything I missed, or if you have any questions or anything like that, please feel free to leave it in the comments below, and I will definitely get back to you. I don't believe there's ever been anyone yet that I haven't got back to. So yeah, thank you so much. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. I really appreciate that. It helps me, it helps the channel. If you want to see more of these videos or similar reselling videos and see what we do on a day-to-day basis, subscribe to our channel. I try to put out at least one video a week. And yeah, thanks again. Y'all have a good night, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.